Thank you for joining us, and welcome as we take yet another step deeper in our study of the Jewish mind of Jesus' day. And here to help us, Doug Greenwald of Preserving Bible Times. Doug, we've been taught for as long as we can remember, I suppose, that the Pharisees are the bad guys, at least most of them. Was that the case in Jesus' day?
Jim, it may surprise you to know that Jesus was a Pharisee. All rabbis were Pharisees in that culture. So when the gospel writers tell us that Jesus read from the prophets and spoke in their synagogues, to the first century mind, only Pharisaic rabbis could do that. We also need to remember that there was significant diversity within Phariseeism. The northern Pharisees, for example, were very different from the southern Pharisees that hung out around the temple. Even in the north, there was a small group of miracle-working rabbis called the Hasidim, which is how most Galileans would have viewed Jesus in the early phases of his ministry. Let me tell you something about Pharisees. They knew their Bible very well. They prayed maybe 100 times a day, albeit somewhat mechanical prayers. They had a passion for evangelism, bringing Gentiles into the faith. They had a zeal to honor God in all that they did, and they lived that out with scrupulous behavior. It's sobering to realize that the Pharisees of the first century would have gotten a much better report card in many areas than we evangelicals of today. Their fatal flaw was in their theology, which deprived God's mercy and compassion from those who were not like them. And that's a sobering reminder for us today. How are we doing in extending God's mercy and compassion to those who are not like us and who have been systematically denied it by our culture?
Doug, can't say as I expected that. In the Jewish mind, Jesus was a Pharisee. For more information, try visit preservingbibletimes.org and be here next time for Digging Deeper.